What's up guys, this is episode 6 on the 100 push-up challenge. So I finally hit the halfway mark, which is 50 push-ups. I actually did exactly 50 push-ups for the new initial test. What I have no clue about is why I got here on week 6, because this is like the last week of the program. So unless I somehow double my number in 1 week, there's no way in hell I'm doing 100 push-ups after this weekend. But anyways, this put me at column 1 of week 6, which is very new to me. I've never done like column 1 before, so it actually looks like easier than last week's. So I'm not sure what the logic is for this, but nevertheless I blindly followed it anyways. It looks like the last set, however, is more than week 5's column 2 by a little bit. So day 1 was probably the toughest out of all of them. This one had me doing large reps with only 1 minute of rest time in between. And I actually managed to rest 1 minute in between each set, except for the last one, where I rested 7 minutes. I pretty much hit all of them except for the last one like usual. Alright, so day 2 was actually almost flawless. If you disregard me resting above the recommended rest time, I rested about 50 something seconds between each set, except for the last 3. I actually hit all the numbers. Like, it wasn't extremely easy, but compared to last week, it was a lot easier. I don't know if this is like a good or bad thing, because I didn't feel like this week was that challenging compared to last week. The final day, I rested pretty close to the 45 seconds recommended rest time for each rest period, except for the last one, as usual. I hit most of them, except for the last one this time. And I was feeling pretty tired during that session, so that might have been the reason I did day 2 perfectly or close to perfectly and didn't hit day 3's last set. But of course, day 3 is supposed to be harder than day 2 and the rest times are pretty much the same, so that also could explain it. Alright, so overall, as you may have noticed, I went back to the formatting of the videos that were similar to before last week, and I found that to me it was a bit more interesting to watch overall. So this week was definitely not as challenging as the past weeks. I feel like I might have gotten a little weaker or only retained my strength like slightly. I'll find out once I do the initial test again next week. Unless I miraculously somehow do 100 push-ups out of nowhere, I'll place myself wherever I see fit on week 6. Probably on column 2 this time, most likely, hopefully. I don't think I'm gonna do column 1 again just because I feel like it's a big step back. Alright, so my weekly advice is, if you're thinking about doing this challenge, you want results as quick as possible, no weeks wasted. I highly recommend you compare how the weeks look before engaging in the next one. Especially if you're going from like column 3 to column 2 or column 2 to column 1, because honestly I feel like if I did column 2 for week 6 and barely finish any of the sets, I still would have gotten more out of it than doing this week's column 1. So sometimes you just got to break the rules from what they're giving you. They told me if I did like 50 I was supposed to be in column 1, but honestly I should have done column 2 anyways and not followed what they said. So if I don't see substantial growth in the next 1 or 2 weeks, I'm probably going to change things up from this program and make one that sort of suits me more. I feel like if I just try to hit my max more often, not just like once a week at the end of the week, I'll probably progress faster that way. I'm thinking about doing it in between workout days, like for instance in between day 1 and day 2 there's a rest day. So during that rest day I'm thinking about just maxing out once during that day. Alright, so that's all for this video guys. To me, this is really the halfway point because that's what the number indicates. So, like even though I'm on week 6, which is supposed to be the final week, to me, it feels like I'm barely halfway there. But we'll see what happens in the next coming weeks. Alright, so like the video if you liked it, and next week I'll definitely see what I can do to make the videos a bit more interesting to watch. But for now, thanks for watching and have a great day.